You know, folks, welcome. So to the wonderful Bristol Channel. Today I'm up targeting a soul. Joining me for the day is the young Jedi himself, Mr. Connor. And we're going to see if we can get a few fish out today. Now, I looked not last week, the week before, about coming up, and due to work, me and Gav couldn't get up here, and there's been a few smaller fish being pulled out. So we're going to come up here and try and target a 3-pounder. We want a 3-pound plus fish today, and it's quite a big tide, which isn't on our side, but at the same time, the only thing really, it was the only chance we had. I mean, work at the moment is absolutely manic, the same as a lot of you. We have everyday life, and unfortunately with that, it's just one of them things, isn't it? You just got to get out when you can get out. I mean, with the studio and that at the moment, trying to make a lot of rigs and stuff like that, so I find myself, if I'm prepared to do stuff, it makes it a lot easier when I can. So me and Connor decided to go Thursday. Thought we'd go up and give it a go. To be honest, I've got to go up and see Chris Macy a little bit later on and pick some reels off him, so I will include that in the feature a bit later on. But I'm going to go through the rigs and stuff and the equipment I'm using here today. Top end of the Bristol Channel, and it's a lovely day. Light southwesterly breeze going west-southwest, and yeah, hopefully we can see a few fish out here today. So we've got here at low water to sort of like suss the air out in front of us. We've probably got best part of, I don't know, 2.5 hours for the incoming tide, but nah, once the tide gets going, it should cover pretty quick. And yeah, we're down here for the session. So I'll go through my gear and then we'll go through Connor's gear. Connor's using some different rigs today. I'm going to go through mine, and we'll see what fish is the best out of the two rigs. I mean, both of them will catch rigs. Mine specifically is targeted for the bigger soul. I find it works very well for the bigger soul, and I've had a lot of success with it in the past. So with that in mind, we're going to go over onto Connor's channel in a minute and do a little bit of an intro. So for those of you that aren't, be sure to check out OnlyFins. He's a lovely lad. Met him a few weeks ago. We've had a few messages, people asking when's the episodes and that. And unfortunately, it's just we got life, innit? Obviously he works, I work. We're not joint at the hip. We're not lovers yet. But no, he's been doing really well. For those of you who haven't seen the productions, be sure to check out the past productions where we went basically and sort of like took him under my wing a little bit and showed him like the basics of casting. He's picked that up really well, absolutely flying leads out now, and he's getting into a few fish, and it's been a joy to see, like, especially I've been watching his stuff and that, to see the progress he's been doing, and obviously he's been showing and obviously teaching it to his channel for viewers and that at the same time. But he's got the Zocron XGT 435s. I've sorted him out, loaded up with the casting specials, so he's going to go on to do his filming now. So I'm going to stop mine, and yeah, I'll go run through my bag and stuff in a bit. That wears off, that, doesn't it? But we can go through the baits and that, and hopefully we can see a few fish out today. Okay guys, Mr. OnlyFins himself,
Morning,
Connor.
People.
We come up, got here bright and early, left early this morning. Just got the 435s. How are you getting on with them?
They're a dream. They are a dream. I mean, I'm not going to lie. They're the best rods I've used so far. Yeah. I'm not going to say ever, because obviously I've never used
a lot of other
Century or anything like that. But yeah, they're definitely definitely a good upgrade.
Nice bit of kit, mate. Going with the Pen Fathom 2 casting specials there.
Indeed.
So yeah, game on. So we're looking forward to fishing here today.
I'm buzzing. I can't wait. Yeah. I've never been to Wales before.
No?
I feel like I'm on holiday, bro. Get the ice creams out.
It's hopefully, as I said, we've got to go over and see Chris Macy, so we decided to come and have a go at this. It was either that or go for a ray in that, but it's something we can do a bit later on in the year with that, I think. He's got a chance of catching a bit bigger fish as well later on in the year, but we will do a fishing session over here and hopefully get him into the blondes and the spore and stuff later on. But we'll go and basically have a little overview of the fishing in front of us now. It's some of the stuff what points out to me key features. Let me ask you, what would you look at?
Well, obviously in front of us we've got a few rocks, and then obviously we've got a bit of a mud flat, and then we've sort of got like some sandbanks with some grooves in.
Yeah.
Which are Right, well, they look a bit fishy to
It's
me.
like gullies, isn't it? It's like little gullies, basically.
Almost if you cast like a bomb lead out there, it's almost like it's sitting there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? With the tide pulling in, and they're just sitting there. Maybe the fish would probably just sit back, wait for the bait to come over the tops.
Yeah. So me personally, there's like a it drops off here, about I don't know, 40 yards out, 30 or 40 yards out. I'll be looking at putting a bait just past that, really.
Yeah.
And the reason being is, obviously the fish moving in and here, they're going to start coming up through, and that's a form of where the food will come in and stop.
Right.
So there's a good chance of a fish pot coming in and picking that up.
Yeah.
You're looking for places where the food will obviously settle really, but obviously we're using black lug today, so the main keys is, you can see in front of us, looks like there's some lug beds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's where we pick them up. So to be honest, I'm going to fish one in about 60 yards,
yeah,
and I'm going to hit one out 150, 160 yards, try and get him onto that bit at the back there, just to see if there's any fish out on that. But
yeah, obviously we're in a nice clear section.
Yeah.
But obviously that feature there, I've got that feature there, that's obviously going to be the deepest bit of my mark, right, where I am. It's already got water in it.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to lie, I'm going to probably try and flop one just in front of that.
Yeah, so that's why I'll probably go down here to cast one and get him right out into that back into that channel. So basically, the fish what's coming through this channel here now, it's just going to hold up, and then hopefully we'll get one on the incoming. It's sort of like a bowl there, isn't there? Yeah, it's basically where you can see where the outlet is. So as it's coming up through, it's a bit like Exmouth, really. Have you been down Exmouth on the bit where it starts covering up? On the bottom of the lifeboat station. By the back end there. So you can see as the main channel comes around here, this will be the main sort of like a channel. So all the water coming here, and it will start flooding, and that point there will start flooding as well, and then obviously the water will just disperse then all over the area. So I think we'll see a fish out. I do, whether it be a sole or not. The main target is a £3 sole for me today, so hopefully we can see a fish out. I mean, you're always happy with an upper twos, but really you're looking for a £3 sole.
Yeah, that's a trip.
That's a good trip.
It looks like you get a nice bass here though.
You got a chance of big bass here. You got a chance of thornbacks. You got a chance of a lot of different species, really.
To be fair, I might whack a ray bait out later.
Yeah, you always got a good chance, especially where we are here now. It's into the mud.
It's very inviting.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I'm buzzing, I'm gassed.
Yeah, so just give it a go. But we'll go through. So your equipment really now is you got my other chair.
Yeah, I got the Fat Boy Lazy chair, the Ian Gold's
rig wallet.
Oh,
full of your gear, look at that.
I'm not going to lie, I have bought my rigs today.
Yeah,
I was a bit lazy, I didn't make any.
No, there you go. To be honest, mate, you got a lot of time.
Yeah.
So while he's going to get his bits and pieces set up, I'm going to go and run through my equipment quickly. And he's got loads of packed lunch here. Did you make it or buy it?
Kind of Fanta lemon,
brother. Look at he's a legend, isn't he? Legend. But yeah, we're not a million miles away into Wales, but hopefully that wind don't pick up. That's the only thing what could kill us today. It's forecast 20 mile an hour at the minute, but it's not. It's like a general breeze. But
we might get a few gusts, but
yeah, hopefully it pays off, and we can see a few fish out. And yeah, here's to a good day's fishing.
In a bit.
Okay, guys. So I've got the T900s here today, and yeah, I'm looking forward to using these today. To be honest, I've been doing a lot of rough ground fishing. So I've been using the T1s, and I have fallen in love with them, if I'm honest. I have fallen in love with them. I think they're a lovely rod. Do you know what? I was given a tip last night. It's funny how things works. Not so long ago, me and the guy in question had a little bit of disagreement and fell out. I never met him before, and since then, it's funny how it works, really. I think there's a lot, really, like I said before, I think sometimes people fall out over silly things, and I think I apologised, he apologised, and we sort of we messaged on and off. You know what I mean? He's like messaged about his like stuff on the channel, or messaged what some of his fishing stuff or casting. Just a bit of casting as well. He's a good caster, and he messaged last night regarding watching a video of me doing the T1000 or something or other, and he said about what he's done with his rod. He's took 10 inches off it. just basically, so it enables him to move the lead round quicker, so as he's coming round. And I do get it, because it's 14 foot 10, it's a big old lump, but it's a very expensive rod to do it to. Gav's just done it with the Anumises, the Coniflexes. They were 15.6, he's took them down to 14.6, and he's seen the difference with doing that with the rod as well, just for the thing. And the thing about it, if you were taking 10 inches off the T1000, what you're doing is you're bringing your arm further up towards the to the midpoint of the rod, which in theory is basically getting more leverage in there to bend. And I can see why. I'm tempted to do it with mine, if I'm honest, but I'm not going to. I've been told that I can have a cast with his first before I do mine. But he tried it, someone else's rod, went straight home and took a grinder to him, and he hasn't looked back. And to be honest, I can see why. It's something I might look into. I love the T1000, I do, but I can see why. Sometimes it is a bit of a monster. If you're 6'6" and got really long arms and legs, I see what you're getting at. But I'm not sure if I really want to do that to 10 inches yet without trying it first. But the other thing he did say to me, which I'm going to say, is he gave me a bit of a thing on this, where he puts the T1000's tip in the T900 butt. They used to do it years ago with the WR300 and the TTR, and apparently I know a few Plymouth boys were at them, especially made to order, and apparently it was a hell of a rod. Now I get that, because like I said before, me personally, I love the T9s and the T1s, but I see there's a bit of a gap in the between. I'd like to see a T900 with a carbon tip. That's what I would like to see. A little bit stiffer in the tip, so you could use it more so off the rock marks and stuff like that. I wouldn't want to lift fish like you know what I mean, with the tip section. Some marks I wouldn't want a glass tip. Not that they wouldn't handle it, I just wouldn't want to put it under that sort of strain all the time. And it's something that I will try for the channel, to see if I can put how the T1000 tip goes in the T900 and see how it casts. But yeah, a few little, that's one of the joys of meeting people on the internet and stuff like that. And I mean, to be honest, it's something, it gives me an idea, and I do get it why that. It just enables you to bring that rod round quicker. So yeah, I will be having a look into that. But yeah, T9s really, for this type of fishing, you can't go wrong. I mean, it's perfect really for soling. I've not gone for a 15-pound line today, just because of the ground, and if we get any weed that come through, I've got 20 just for that fact. I mean, I would like to use, you get an bit of extra distance over high tide, and then if you want to hit that end gully, to be honest, the 15-pound lighter line, that would probably help a little bit more. But normally on Chesil I'd 15, but I'm using 20 here today just for precaution really. But we'll get these rods out. I hope you like my chair. I'll tell you what guys, honestly, I haven't looked back. I put one on last week, and when we went breaming, me and Gav were sat there, and it was just like, yeah, just comfort when you're fishing. And I'm not getting any younger. And to be honest, it's an extra large wide boy, and it's like having an armchair. It really is. So it's something which I've been taking on the trips. I've just been tying it onto the top of the Sentry bag. It's lightweight, and it's ideal. So that's the rod setup. So we'll get into here now. So I'll bring you over and we'll get through and see what's in my bag today. So then, what's in the bag? So today it's sponsored by Walkers. Nah, I'm only joking. It's my packed lunch. So I've got, I don't even know what I've got. I think I've got ham and mustard. I've got some rolls in there. I made some more up just in case my old mate there didn't have any. I mean, he's bought some Fanta for me as well, so I'll just pay him back with a row if he gets hungry. I'm sure he's got packed lunch. He looks like he's got loads there. Got some chocolate bars in there. Bit of a long trip today, long session. Jumper just in case you get warm, get cold, sorry. Not that I'm going to need that today. Waterproof jacket, just in case. Baiting towel. I've obviously got the camera gear there, and I've got a couple of reels. I bought a sea line just because I had it loaded there, and then I've also got my Pen Fathoms. Okay, so I'm going to be using my Pen Fathoms today, so I'll put them over there. They've got Chris Macy magged, which I'll go through a bit later on, and then I have got my rig, my terminal tackle stuff. So I've got some fluorocarbon, I've got some shock leader, I've got some rig bits, I've got some bait elastic, and I've got some leads. Okay, and then that's that. I was thinking about using a rolling lead. It depends how hard that tide comes through, but I probably will use a rolling lead a bit later on. I do like to use a rolling lead, but especially with that mud there, then to be honest, I feel it just sit there. But we'll have a look later on. We'll have a look. I'll probably use like a 7 ounce. I've got a spare 7 there, so I'll just take them out of that. But we'll go for the rigs in a minute, but boys and girls. But I've got my rig wallet there, all set up. Got the headlight just in case I need it. I've got the main thing of the day, because I know I'm going to use these today, is sunglasses. So I've got my sunglasses there. To be honest, I need a bit of a clean off, so I'll do that first. And then yeah, Connor managed to get some lovely fresh blacks from Newton Baits, so a big shout out to Newton Baits for sorting us out with them today. And I've got some frozen from Hookers, so we've got the mixture of both, a bit of fresh and a bit of both. So yeah, so it's a real setup. Got a couple of drinks, got my scales in the front and my sling just in case. I'm going to put all the bits and pieces away now, because we may have a spot of rain a bit later on. But I'll just get that all in the bag there. Keep my rain jacket out just in case. And then Bob's your uncle, away we go. So that can go inside there. Rig wallet out, reel out. Don't need that one. Put that back inside. I think that job's a good one, guys. Put the box back in. I think chocolate and crisps all out. Yeah, away we go. Away we go. So that's pretty much all there, ready to rock and roll. And yeah, I'm going to go through and do a rig first. Okay, so got my towel there, ready to rock and roll. And I think we're going to use frozen first, just so we can keep the fresh for later. So I've got a couple of them there now. I took them out the freezer yesterday. Black lug. Okay, so they're all set up. See, the tide's moving in already there now, which is ideal. So we can literally move forward and start putting some baits in a bit. Okay, I think that fresh is going to be a lot better. So the magic rigs, all in the magic. So why it's not running hard for the minute? Oh, do you know what? I'm gonna use a 7 ounce. I think I'm gonna use a 7 ounce. I'm gonna take them out. Have you got any pliers there?
I haven't. I've only bought stuff.
Well, I'm gonna have to try and take one of these grips out a minute. He will come out. He will come out in a minute. I'll take him out anyway. But sometimes they come right out, sometimes they don't. I'm only going to fish one rod for a minute until it comes in anyway. Can't believe I never bought my pliers. Nightmare. Huh? Have you got any 7 ounce bomb leads? I bet you haven't, have you? No.
I've only got these horrible shaped leads, but that ain't gonna roll.
No.
I mean, it will slowly in the tide.
It's alright. I'll have to try and thing. Anyway, what I'll do is I'll just put a normal one for a minute. So I have to put a 7 ounce lead on for a minute. I like a little bit of movement because of the way I'm fishing. At the end of the day, I'm fishing a little bit different because I'm after that big fish, and they will hit moving baits. What I find, especially on Chesil, that the main thing is the bait's down. You making sure that the bait is pinned to the bottom, but at the same time, sometimes, especially if you're using like boom rigs or like really short trace rigs and that, everything's really close together with the rig body and stuff, and you get like a 3 pound sole coming across, and you get the grip leads poke it or something. Sometimes it can spook a fish. For that reason, that's why I tend to use this rig, and it works very well. So it's basically a drop down rig, guys, okay? So I've got an 80 pound rig body on there going down to an imp. On the top I've got 2 rubber beads, okay? And then a proper pulley clip, what I can just clip onto my shock leader, another rubber bead, and a 100 pound swivel, okay? So from Gemini. And then I got a Gemini bent link clip, which goes on to another 100 pound swivel, and it basically comes up like so, okay? Like that. And then I've got a size 2 Manta Extras hook, okay, really small. It's the Manta hooks really, and then on the top of it, then I've got a sequin and a load of bait stops, and I've got a little tiny 1 ounce ball weight, okay. And what I find is, this is the key with it, is because a lot of the soul I've had, and that especially with this rig, they're bigger fish, okay. And the reason being, I feel a lot, is that it's a moving bait because it'll move around some water with a trace. It won't just sit, but the bait will stay on the floor, so I can set it for different lengths. So if the tide's running hard, I can set it really up close to the bait, so the bait's just going like that. Or if I want a bit more movement, I can set it accordingly. But I've had some really good fish over the years on that, and it's a rig I tend to use for soul fishing. I mean, I said to Connor, we'll go for it a bit later on, and he can make some up, because later on in the year on Chezo, that is a killer. And I've been with people before, and that I've fished this rig, and they fish other rigs and stuff, and they said afterwards they were grabbing rigs off me. Unfortunately, I haven't got many rigs here today, but it's an absolute killer of a rig, guys. It really is. And just make sure the hook's offset, and away you go. But we'll get some of them all leveled up. Look at these. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, they're not fantastic, but we use them first. Look at these. These are from Newton Baits. Yeah. Okay, look at that. Absolute massive. I'll be honest, I would put half of that on.
What, half the bait?
Half a bait on each one, and I'm tempted not even use a frozen with the size of them, because they are massive. These are perfect when they're fresh, because they're really small blacks. They come up from up Blackpool way, but they've been in those for a freezer. I was going to go over to What's a Tackle Trader and get a couple packs, but I thought these would be alright. But they're alright. They'll be out alright in the sun once they dry out a little bit. But with the size of them, we might get away with just using fresh today.
We'll just put them in half.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, is cut them in half. You don't need a massive bait like that on there for the sow anyway. But you can see them, they're lovely, guys. Newton Baits.
Absolutely banging.
There you go. So I'll put that there. There's squid in that there if you want anything else as well. All right, so I'll put them inside there now. I'm just going to bait up one just to show you, okay? So what?
Got some emergency ragworms too.
Oh, look at that.
They're bad boys, look.
Look at that. Whee, bit of rag as well. It's all off here.
Big up some Newton Baits.
There you go. Okay. So, what I tend to do, so I always go off the size I'm using, and obviously using these black lug here at the minute. So what I tend to do is tip the top off, tip the bottom off, unload like so, and then what I'll do is I'll put that straight down through, a little bit frozen, so I thought they would have thingied by now, but come down through. They've been in the freezer a little while. Do you know what, I'm just going to go for the fresh. I'm just going to go for the fresh today. Come on. Right. So, all I'm going to do with this one here now is cut it in half. Okay? I'm going to get the worm like that. Cut it in half. Perfect. Then, I'm going to get my bait, so I can go, it's the wrong one. I picked the wrong one up. I won't be doing that today. I needed the one with a hole, really. Never mind. Alright, so I'm going to have to feed these on. Nightmare. I've picked the wrong bait and That one there is what I use for like sand deal and stuff, because it's just got a pin on the end, so you just go it down through and go like that through, put it around onto the side, and jobs are good in. But what I'm going to do, it's like a baiting up tool really. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fish this. The main thing is to come around, okay, like so, but try not to pop it at all. All right, and then what I'll do is I'll come up like that, and then what I'll do then is I'll get the sequin and I'll get one of the bait stops and I'll pull it down so it stops the worm from coming out. And then what I tend to do now, that tide's going to be pushing a little bit as it comes through. We'll be able to get a bait in the water in a minute. I'm going to fish it about 4 inches up, okay, like so. See that? That's perfect, okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that bait like that. Now what I tend to do is hold the hook, pull the worm out, and get him out straight, like so. I'll get a little bit of bait elastic. And then I'll tie it off. It just stiffens the top end of the worm up, but at the same time it holds it in position. Just find sometimes if you don't do this with a worm, it tends to go, it can tend to move, and it just goes up by the sequin really, holds them in place, and then away you go. So that there, guys, is my little soul bait. So that water's coming in now. We can get some baits in the water. We'll get the rigs all wrapped up onto the rods, get it pulled through, and we'll get that one cast out into that incoming tide, hopefully to see a fish out. Okay guys, the tide's coming in behind us now. I'm going to try and wade through as far as I can now, just to hit one, just to get one out there, just to be able to fish for the minute. Probably only going to fish one rod for the minute. The tide's starting to flood pretty hard, so it won't be long. I reckon half hour, 3/4 of an hour, and we'll be both rods out, ready to go. Okay guys, so up to my knees in mud, and yeah, it's quite soft out past that first drop, but I've got one out there. It's come right around to the left. Hope I'm not going to lose that, but it's that tide's pulling very hard. See if we can get a fish out. Pass that up to you. Thank you very much. So it's the first rod set in there. I'm not going to fish 2 rods for the minute. That's come right round left, so it's a 7-ounce lead on it as well. I may have to go up to 8s in a minute. But nice bit of tide there. See how we get on in it. I mean, at least got one in the water. I mean, probably went forward about 100 yards and then cast as far as I could hit it into that wind. It went out there though. So just have to wait and see now. Hopefully we can see a fish on it. I've got it very tight. We've just enable a little bit, just in case weed comes through or anything like that. I'm fishing quite high up at the minute. I want to be quite high up anyway, to keep my line up over all the rougher ground, which is not covered in water yet. It's like mixed rock and stuff at the minute out there, but I'm right over that ledge. From where I am now, I would say I'm probably fishing at 250 yards. which is a long way out when you're walking back up where we are. Let's get them. So as you can see, I've waded down to that first ledge there. I wouldn't go past that. Very, very muddy. And then, yeah, game on. Out in the tide, let's pull round a bit. I'm probably out on that left ledge there somewhere. But just have to wait and see, won't I? Wait and see. Big bow on the line. So this is the this is where it's all happening. I'll tell you what, these are cushy. They are, and they live.
They are.
Aren't they?
I haven't started fishing yet, mate. I'm chilling. I'm a sandwich. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to wait for the tide to come up a little bit further because obviously my casting ain't quite as finesse as that. But
as long as you get onto that ledge, but I yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If I just wait a little bit longer so it comes up, and then that way, if I do get a fish, I ain't going to get stuck on the ledge either. On
No,
the way down.
but there it is. The one and only Bristol Channel.
It's actually incredible. The tide run here is amazing. Definitely something to see. At least we found a bit of water. Deuce, deuce. Reel's nearly empty. Need to put some more line on there. You reckon I should put it down a bit further?
I would.
Yeah. Pop that one in there.
Oh, the line. Job's done. Oh, the bliss, the bliss. What better place to be? Saturday daytime, overlooking the Bristol Channel, covered in mud, with the old mate from OnlyFins. All we need now is a fish, but no, it's gonna be a nice day. I think the winds aren't what they said they were going to be. That's the thing I was worried about the most. But clear skies at the minute, sea's looking good. It's quite a big tide, so I expect to see some weed in that. But yeah, 8 ounces holding bottom, all right. Short drop down traces. What more can you ask for? Bit of fresh bait, why not? But yeah, whatever place to be. Bring out me drink. Lovely. But yeah, hope everybody's had a good week. You'll probably see this midweek because a bit of a busy weekend. But what do we think we're going to get? I think we'll see a bass out. I'm hoping to see a sole out. That's what we need. That's what we want.
12-pound bass, boy.
Yeah, nice sole would be lovely, wouldn't it? But you got to be in it, win it. Can't happen all the time, can it? But, I love these chairs. It's so relaxing. What better place to be, you know what I mean? Plenty of tide. Leads are set, lines are set, and away we go. I hope everybody's been enjoying the video content. Been putting a few different things on lately, to be fair. Century bag's covered in mud. My missus is going to love me when I get home. Good job I got a wader bag to put my waders in. That's all I can say, but I'm going to have to get another pair of these vast waders because they're sadly coming to the end. I've had these a good few years as well, and yeah, they've been through some abuse, and they're still dry. I mean, the only thing is my niece really, and I've used them a hell of a lot, but they still keep the water out. And to be honest, it's nice to have breathable waders, especially like marks like this. I mean, you need waders here to come down in the mud and stuff, and it's a 10-15 minute walk I suppose, but last thing you want to be doing is in like hot and heavy waders. So breathables are ideal for that sort of thing. I mean, quick wash off with the hose pipe when you get home, and away you go. But yeah, I've done a few videos recent. I think the headlight one went down really well, coming up towards 10,000 views now. And yeah, it's a nice headlight, it's a nice bit of kit. I bought the other one today with me, the 30, but I don't think we're going to need it. So I got there just in case. I will do something on that over the next couple of coming weeks as well, because it's a really nice headlight, to be fair. I know you got the other one out now, but for those of you who are looking for a headlight, there's an option or two there. But I'm very impressed with the new one. The new one's hell of a bit of kit from Phoenix. But yeah, the multiplier production went down quite well as well. For those of you who haven't seen it, do check it out. I mean, I looked over reels over the years, and at the end of the day, one man's meat's another man's poison, and unfortunately, it's the way it goes sometimes. But yeah, one of them really. But yeah, we're going to get into the session. But yeah, if you haven't watched those productions, do check them out. There's another one we've done midweek on the rock fishing, so yeah, be sure to check them out. But here's to a good day's fishing. Okay folks, so we just started having a little natter on Connor's channel, so do check it out as well. But two local lads have just turned up. Just had a little natter with them. They've been getting a few sole and that up here. They come up here, they said the rays have been taking it, but the wind is starting to play up a little bit now. I'm going to stand back here a little bit so I can watch my rods and talk to you at the same time. But I did have a bite earlier on, about 5 minutes ago. Didn't come of nothing, but the leads are moving around quite far, so in a bit I'm going to fish one in close and one at range. So on the left one I'm going to hit a fish at range, and the right one I'm going to fish slightly closer in. But I think once that water starts coming up over that bank now, it will the leads will stop swinging around as much. They're not doing like you were and hammering far down left, so it is still controllable, but I think it's weed on the line, if I'm honest. But no, the T900 I cast out first of all, covered in mud, so one of the joys of it. Connor casting one out now. Oosh, get him out there, boy, get him out there. And yeah, hopefully we can see some fish out today. I mean, it'd be nice if we can see a sole out. That rod's going again now. He's gone far left now. I don't know if it's just a lead tripping. If it is, it'll be because of the weed. I'll give him a couple more in a minute. So that one there is starting to come round left now. So probably going to have to anchor him up in a minute. Just going to get a few rays out, but I don't really want to form back. Come on, you 3 pound sole. Just a big monster sole would be lovely today. Finish off the week. A bit of a go at the minute. 2 specimens out in 2 trips. Oh, they're all turning up here now. We got 3 or 4 anglers just turned up here on the left hand side of us. They're going down to the left now because they can see us. We're here. So give them a little wave. Unfortunate. I think it's oh, there's loads of room here, but I think it's the tide more than anything we struggle with. That tide is literally pulling it round. But I'm going to bring this one in here a minute. I think the line's just bowing actually. So the leads are out in front. It's just the bow's going round. I can just see it coming back in when I pick the rod up there now. So they're not a million miles away. Indication and tide like this, when you get a fish on, half the time you may not get a literal massive bite, but then you'll get the line lifting. Because that's where the lead's obviously moving in towards you and coming back in with the tide. Get them on Chesil. I've had them when my reel's not in the cups, my rod's not in the cups, and the rod's literally pulled straight over and ended up on the tipwards on the shingle. I remember going back down one year, and I went down to speak to Kane Iden. He was fishing the right hand side of me, and I come back, and as I come back to my rod was up like that, down on the floor, and whatever it was straightened my hook out, which wasn't fantastic. I mean, sometimes you're using real tiny hooks, and they're not, because the hooks you're not using like major like high quality, as I would say, like a chinny hook, for example. Something you're not going to bend out. Where if you're using like a J hook type hook, 9 times out of 10 they will bend. Depending where they're hooked. If you hook them rightly and they're in the back, they're not coming out at all. But if you slightly get that point, it's only that point in, then it's one of them really. But the dark, dirty, murky depths of the water in the Bristol Channel, overlooking the bridge to the left hand side of me. Fantastic Saturday. See what high water brings. Okay then, a little bit of weed out there, and I can feel a little bit of rain, which we don't want. But here's what it is. It's got a bit of weed there buying you. A little bit of weed there. So if he's got the weed, I've definitely got the weed. I'm going to bring that in before it gets any worse, I think. Trouble is, I took the left one out first, didn't I? So I might have to take the left one out first. Let's have a go. I don't know whether to bring it in or not. I was just looking at it, I can't get the weed on the bottom of my line. He's brought loads in though. Trouble is, the longer you leave it out, the worse it gets, isn't it? No, I'm gonna do it, boys and girls. I'm gonna do it. Bring this one in first. A lot of weed on that. So you need a decent shock leader here. Lots of weed. Like a washing line it is. That is mental. That is proper washing line with stuff, isn't it? And I mean proper washing line stuff. The leader's not even out the water yet. Lovely. What do you do when it gets like that? Not a lot you can do. Just got to put up with it. I mean, I've had sessions, especially upper channel, with like fishing for the smooth hounds and stuff, where you're doing this constantly. Unfortunately, sometimes you just got to fish a bit harder than normal to try and get in on the fish. And I think it's going to be one of them days. I mean, it's the biggest tide, but with that, unfortunately, you've got to be in it to win it, haven't you? Got to be in it to win it. I can get that out there a minute. Oh yeah.
Right.
Morning. Morning. All up on my shock leader. Look at this. Lovely. I'm going to give it a minute just to let that tide pull through. Thinking of going a little bit shorter. What's happening, because I'm out into that channel out there, anything what's coming through that channel is just going straight onto my line at the minute, so I might just do a few shorter ones and then have another go a bit later on. I mean, there's nothing worse than getting bombarded with that constantly, is there? But it is what it is, I'm afraid. But I'm going to go down there now, get my lead unhooked, and yeah, we'll get another one out. Okay then, guys, I'm not going to hit this. I'm basically going to try and slow it down, but I only want it to go probably 80 yards. That's where I want it. I've literally lobbed that.
Doing that cast when there's a big drop behind me. You know, because you know you can't hit the floor.
Right, I'm out of that tide now. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, this is perfect for her. So as you can see now, let's drop one short. And I've got the other one out, which I hit out in 150 yards out into that channel. You can see that tide line is out there going through. As you can see, that one there, not good at all. I'm going to try and bring him in now. So that one there, 90 yards out. This one here, right out there. I don't know if I'm going to get these back, you know. You might have to land this for me. Is there a fish on it? I'm sure I had a fish on that. Is the trace line gone?
Nah.
Nightmare. Right, let's get rid of all this weed. Whee!
Rick's up here, right?
Thanks, mate.
He's on the phone to all his mates. Quick, get down here. Send me an adventure with you. He's all graphic.
Right.
Lovely job.
I have to do the same for you in a minute. If it stays like this, I will be fishing one rod. I'm hoping it eases off as it comes up over the high tide. Start chucking them in short. It's nice to fish two rods, but sometimes things happen which can't get away with. It is a big tide, so you've got to expect, especially this area of the Bristol Channel, to get a bit of weed and that over the bigger tides. All right, I'm going to get this undone in a minute, boys and girls, and we'll get another one baited up. Okay, so Connor's just bringing his in now, and a little bit of weed over it, but it's not too bad. You want me to go down? Nah. Got it?
Yeah, it'll be alright. I was just figuring out whether I was over the top or not.
Yeah, you've got away with that, haven't you? There's hardly no weed on it. Yeah, that's the way to do it then, guys. The last two ones I've literally hammered out to the horizon have both come back kaput, as they would say in German. But if you say in English, rubbish. Broken. Right. So, bait up one of these now. Bait up one of these. And see if we can get away with it. It's holding there at the minute. It would be nice, wouldn't it? Just need that weed to hold off a little bit. If that weed can hold off, it means we can keep the baits in the water longer, and more chance of trying to get a fish out, isn't it? So just bringing that one up through like so. Lovely. Right, and then I'm gonna take the bottom off that. Okay, hold the hook. I'm gonna bring my trace line down a little bit first, and then yeah, job's a good one. Job's a good one. That's basically the rig ready to rock and roll. Put that onto me lap there now. Pleasant fishing, easy fishing, no massive walks up and down cliffs, and if we can manage to get a sole on today, we'll be in for a good fight, because those big ones, they do tend to hit hard. But let's have a look. So I can get this one here now. So what I normally do is go above first. Okay, so you're going above the bait stop and the top seat and the sequin. Not many times, 3 or 4, and then what I'll do is I'll pull the worm up to that then, right, and then I'll go around again here now, like so. 1, 2, come on, 3, 4, right, and then basically what I'll do now is pull that bead up like that, and that's it. That just that little bit of elastic just helps to keep the worm slid up the hook, so I can pull that up and then manipulate that there then. You can put a little bit by the hook point as well if you want. If I can get some of this off, it's a really fine stuff, this stuff. I'll just go around the top of the shank, and that should hold it into place there now. Little bait up, and yeah, I'm going to put him in there quickly. I'm just going to give this a couple of minutes just to see what this is going to do with my other rod, because if that lead starts moving and tripping, then I know I've got to do something else, don't I? I can't be hitting him at the minute, not with that weed like it is, so it's a case of just hitting him like 70 yards really, just over that first bank. That's what I've just done then with that one, and I'm tempted to do exactly the same with this one, if I'm honest, because that's holding there lovely at the minute. But yeah, hopefully we can see a sole out. I'll do one waiting. Get that lead out. Set this rig up. Whee. Put that there a minute. Hook like that in so far. And then hook him up. That's that rig set now. Ready to rock and roll. Not had no bites on that one. It seems it's actually holding as well, which is good. You can tell the difference because the rod tips go right over. Right, should we get this one casted out? Right then, so that one there is holding a minute. Just going to put one out to the left down side here. That one's held quite all right at the minute. So just going to chuck this one here out. Bit of weed on it straight away. Rods definitely need a wash when I get home. Let's have a look here. Trying to juggle here. Whee! Come on. There we go. Right. Hit this one here out a minute. Said I'm not. I say hitting. I'm not really hitting it. A little bit of a. Not even hitting that at all. Fold a little bit of line out. Oh! So, there we are. Fishing probably 50 or 60 yards, not even that. It's one of them in a minute, guys. I mean, I can't hit them until that tide starts coming in. It is absolutely hammering up through there in a minute. So, why it's like that, yeah, just gonna have to play it by ear. But it'd be nice to see a fish out. A little bite there then on the right one. We'd love to see a 3-pounder out. Not that it's going to happen on the first trip, but it's having the time, guys, if I'm honest. I mean, since I give up club fishing, I've started to enjoy my fishing a lot more. And just being able to do what I want with my fishing, you know what I mean? If I want to go and do something, I can go and do something. And I can still enjoy targeting specimens and that. I haven't got. I think when I do the club fishing, it turns me into a bit of a wally. When I say a wally, a bit of a, yeah, it's probably the right way to describe it. Because more than anything, I don't like getting beat. And I think it just drives me to and especially certain anglers, where it drives me to say I'm not having him beat me, and it will just make me go out and go out and go out and go out and go out. And the trouble is, when I'm fishing like that, it's not nice for people around me, because I'm just focused on one thing. And I've enjoyed just just relaxing, just going back to like I used to do with my fishing, like looking forward to going fishing, you know what I mean? And I think when you're doing it all the time, you're not necessarily looking forward to going fishing, you're looking forward to catching that next fish. Because you know within the certain days or trips and that, you're going to get it. It's just time, isn't it? And yeah, I don't think I ever want to go back. I'm not saying I have enjoyed of what I've done with club fishing, and especially with the fact of, I think it turned me into a better angler, if I'm honest, because it made me want to, instead of like going out and just doing ray fishing and that all the time, it made me want to do different things and like target different things and that. And it's like breaming. I think breaming's probably one of my favourite types of fishing. I was talking to Connor earlier about it. And what I like about breaming is you're hitting the bait out 150 yards over rough ground, and when you get those big ones on, there's nothing else like it. I mean, big rays and that, when your initial fight and the initial taking that, it's fun. And same with smooth hounding. But once you get them on and that, it's the same old thing. I mean, running, just holding on and stuff like that, where they're diving for that rougher ground constantly, and when you're catching them at 150 yards out, there's nothing like it, if I'm honest. It's amazing. You win some, you lose some, you don't land every single fish, obviously using light line and that as well, but at the same time it's really addictive, and I do love it. It's one of my favorite types of fishing. I could do it all the time, I really could. But I'll try to mix everything in with like tides and times of year and stuff like that, really, and weather. I mean, I come over it. I would have liked to have done different things today, but I've wanted to get a big sole out, and it was the only chance I've had with work and stuff. And I had to come over and get some reels off Chris Macy, so it made sense to do it all in one go. But no, it's a nice mark. As I said, me and Connor, first time fishing the venue, and yeah, away we go. I thought sort of always stayed away from these bite top end marks, because it's really matchy, really. I know now we've got a chance to get a decent sole out, so it's one of them, isn't it? It's worth putting the time into. When we could have gone raying today or gone smooth hounding over here, and you probably had a lot more success of doing so. But old Onlyfins is waiting to do a little talk on his camera. I can see him there. So
actually, I'm just looking at myself.
Yeah, just looking at yourself, yeah.
Checking myself out.
Just checking himself out, bless him. But yeah, I'll let him go over and we'll have a little chat on his camera now. I'll get him to have a little chat over here in a minute. Yeah, let's see how these baits go a minute, and then hopefully we can produce a fish today. I mean, it is a slightly big cut tide, dirty water, which I like, and yeah, who knows? You win some, you lose some, but you got to be in it to win it, guys. You got to be in it to win it. I'm gonna bring this rod in now. I don't know, like bites on it, but I can see a bit of weed there. And the last thing I want is to have weed on. Feels a lot better than it did. Well, there you have it. So, the trace line coming in, it's quite tangled up due to the weed around it, but the bait is still there. So we live in hopes, we live in hopes. So I'm going to do now, get rid of this weed on here, on this line. Fresh bait out there. Going to go a little bit further distance with this next one. Okay. Just a little bit further distance. There you go. Right, so while we're here, let's get one baited up. Right then, so first things first, get rid of this nicely bit of fresh black there. Chuck that in the water, and then what we'll do here now is gather a bit of oh, that's a nice looking one, isn't it? Oh, look at that. That one there has got bait. That's got it written all over it. Remember years ago, I'm not sure where Gav got them from, but he got some fresh blacks when we went soling, but they were about 4 inches in length, probably a little bit smaller than these, and I tell you what, they were absolutely banging. They smashed it. And yeah, I'd like to get my hands on some for the end of this year, to be fair, to find out where he got them from up north, sent down somewhere. But I don't like using huge blacks for soling. But these, perfect. Really sticky, really scenty. I mean, that is all you need, really. So bring that bait down there like that. Get the old bait elastic there, boy. The bait elastic, soft. So again, go over the top of the bait stop a few times. And then what I tend to do now is hold it above there, pull the worm up slightly, and then get a grip further down, and then you can work your way up then. There you go. And then I'll hold the bit there, put it in like that. I can literally work that all the way up there now. Perfect. I'll bring him down like that. It's a nice little bait there then. And what I'm going to do is just around the top of the shank, there you go. Put him down, and away you go. Perfect little soul bait. So I'm gonna get him casted out now, see if we can get us a soul. Okay, so 8 ounce lead, Try and get some of this garbage off. When I say garbage, talk about all the grass and stuff off the bait. Don't really want that on there. Alright, I'm going to go up a bit further with this bait, and then let's see if we can produce a business here today. So, bait it up like so. Get that hook around the back of the imp there. It's ready to rock and roll. That'll slide down now. I'll hit this a little bit now. I'm going to cast up left, up right from Connor. Watch your head there, boyo. Watch your head there, boyo. And we'll get one up away. Tide is going through, but I'm hoping I'm not going to go major silly with it. Low into the wind. Say about 100 yards. I've bowled that in the tide. And he sat up lovely. He sat up lovely. So it's just the time game now. I'll see if that holds. I haven't hit that. It's this side of the channel. I'm just hoping that holds there now. It'll pull round slightly this side of Connor, and then just don't want to see my rod buckling over to the left really. As long as the tide holds off like that. It's nice to fish one out a little bit further and one in closer, isn't it? But that other one slacked off there a little bit, isn't it? Yeah, man. Maybe a fish, maybe a fish. But we've got some new wet weather gear. So, to be honest, a lot of you voted the reeds. I will tell you it's not reeds. I've gone off of not out my own experience, but I've gone off of someone else's experience. A mate of mine, Gav, and oh, I had a bite then. And to be honest, the reason I've done it, that could be weed on my line though. The reason I've done it is because that he's had both, and he said to me, he said, Anne, the only thing, I said, I love the reed stuff, the only thing is it's a little bit heavy. And I do get that, it is a lot heavier, and it's not breathable where a lot of the other ones are breathable. And he said, have a go at this. He said, I love it. So I've done it. I've bit the biscuit and done it. So it's one of them. But I was impressed. I've tried his suit on. It was a little bit big on me, and I've ordered one in my own size. So I'm hoping that that it stands up to what I want to do with it. I mean, they've been going around a long time, and yeah, who knows? You got to try different things at times, and as they say, only the strong survive. So let's see. But I'm getting a slight bite with this one here now. Let's check it out. Okay. So I'm getting a slack line here. Could be the lead moving around. Could be weed. Nine times out of 10, when you get a big tide pool like this and you've got a line what's tripping, sometimes it involves a fish. No weed at all on the line at the minute. It's getting weeded up, isn't it? just completely weeded up, which I don't want. So I may shorten these down a little bit in a minute, if I'm honest. Right, just gonna bait one up. Back again. So, time now. Got to be coming up to high water. My phone's in here, look. Coming up to high water now. So, I'm gonna start putting full worm on. I mean, we bought it, so it's worth using them up, isn't it? But as I was saying before, guys, I do love the reed gear, and to be honest, I probably will get it again. I mean, it's top class gear, and I've thoroughly enjoyed using it. But my mate of mine, he said try this other stuff, so I've gone for it to see how I get on with it. Really, I mean, if I don't get on with it, I don't get on with it. I always can go back to what I know works. But he's had both. And he said, and he's exactly, his words to me were, you won't look back. So sometimes you've got to take on other people's thoughts and stuff, haven't you? And go from there. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. So, get this all the way up. Nice. Right, we've got that there sorted. We're gonna have to move closer. Put that ball weight there a minute. Okay. And now what I'm going to do now, so I'm going to go around the top. And go around like that, that's it. Got it. So it's important you go above the bait stop and get as tight as you can, because then what you can do when you're coming around now, I can feel it. The tension's there. You don't need loads of tension, but you need enough tension so when you pull that worm up with a bait stop, it pulls the worm up and leaves the worm down. And then what I normally do now, as I said before, a bit windy today. Top of the shank of the hook. I don't go silly with it. Just literally a little bit on, just to hold the bait into place. And I'm going to go down slightly a bit further this one, just to try and keep him pinned to the bottom. Wait, let's hook my jumper. So exactly the same again now. That bait's held there at the minute, so that's a good thing. So I know now. I ain't got to muck around with this next cast. I can give him a little bit, and hopefully we can try and see a fish. It'd be nice to see one out, wouldn't it? Let's go and get him one out then. Okay, guys. So same sort of thing now. Gonna cast up tide. I'm gonna hit this a little bit. that is gone. May live to regret that. So I hit that. Probably shouldn't have hit that, but I have hit that. It's holding up in the tide. It's sort of like bowled round with a line. I'm just hoping that the tide's eased off a little bit. I'll soon find out how long it stays there for. But I'm probably 150, 160 yards out there now, right out into where I wanted to be before. I'm probably in that gully drop where we wanted to be, and yeah, I can't really ask for much more than that. Just the only thing I could ask for is that tide don't pull it left with weed. But oh, the bite then. I do love the glass tips on these rods. I'm a big fan, big fan. But we will go out this week. Might invite Connor, get Joseph out as well, and take the T900 butt and put it with the T1000 tip, and do a little demonstration video to see how it holds up. I'll be quite interested to see. To be honest, it's something which I've never really thought about, but I know they do it with other rods, and I'm a big fan of this rod. It's my favourite rod, but I would love to see a carbon tip version, because it's got all the backbone you need at the end of the day for like most fishing. I mean, you would land a lot, near enough everything in UK waters with the T900s. You could do. There's enough backbone in them, and I know obviously a glass tip, as long as you're not locked into fish and stuff like that, then it will cope with most things. And when your fins is about to cast out, I think. But no, a bit of a windy day, guys, but we're out and about, aren't we? Out and about. Howling wind.
Soul or no soul? No soul. But I definitely got the sun today, bro.
We'll call this session the Soul Destroyer, as you said earlier.
The Soul Destroyer, inside and out. Look at that, look.
You don't often see that, do you? So we casted it out, and it's come back clipped. It's safe you clip it up for the next one, boy, wouldn't it? Hey!
I'll send it straight back out.
Yeah, I would do as well, but you can see there's baits up here, look. Nice placing baits, eh? Nice placing
They're
bait.
not place baits, they're soul baits.
Soul Destroyer, mate.
Soul.
Go on then, show us your casting. Get one out.
What do you want? Show us me casting. That's inappropriate to ask a man.
Show us your casting.
Alright, I'll give it a go.
Get it out. Get it out.
Windy, though. Might lose this one now.
No. So go up a little bit further, because I don't want to be going over me. But up to the left, and I want to see what you got. See how all the educational tutorials have been working.
So take some brakes off, see what happens. Wait there. I've got pressure now, see?
I know he's had a few people trying to get hold of him, telling him to change this or do this and that. And like I said to him, just ignore him, because the trouble is, if he starts adding steps and stuff like that into his casting when he's fishing at this stage, you shouldn't need to add a step into your cast until you can. If you should be able to do this cast properly, and then once you've done the cast, you should be able to add the step in to get extra distance. But let's have a look at his arms placement. Go on then, big boy, get him out. Turn. Woo, get him out there, look. Show the face, Ah!
Come on, boy.
Get on, boy.
There we go.
There you go. Well in, Connor. Well in, boy.
I'm going to regret that too, aren't I?
Yeah, two of us. Well, boys and girls, we'll have a bit of rain in a minute, I think. So I'm gonna have to. Trouble is, I've got a bit of weed on my rod. It's doing my head in. It's off. Hey, it's off. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. What? What you been doing? He's no sleep. He's been too much fishing that one, hasn't he? He's been hitting it too hard the last few weeks. But yeah, hopefully. I mean, they're staying where they are. But we have got some heavy clouds coming over. Which is not good. But we got a couple of hours, I think, of the back tide, and then we'll get the motor and head our way over to Mr. Macy. I've got to go cash machine first, and then head over to Mr. Macy's and pick up my reels, which I'm very much looking forward to. So I've got a pair of BG30s magged, a pair of BG40s magged, and a pair of Fathom 15s. Way up the Webby. Only fins as well, gutted. Yeah, he's. I got a proper studio now at mine.
Have you?
Yeah,
the podcast. Like.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a podcast. You need something to talk about, don't you?
Yeah, you get people from different areas of fishing, right?
Yeah.
And they talk about
yeah.
Someone else does it?
Yeah, maybe. They don't get very many views doing that though, do they?
Well, no, I don't really talk about it,
no.
They might do.
It's all about fishing. And that rod's just come back up there now. Waiting for that slam over. That's what we want to see. We want a few slam overs. Because when they hit, guys, they give a good account for themselves also, especially those big ones. As I said, I've had them take the rod out the tripod and that before, and the scrap on is unreal. Good fights. But no, I'm gonna have to put some gear away, I think, because it's slowly approaching us. So cameras away, batten down the hatches for an hour, get wet, and then hopefully ride it out, and away we go. So you got fish on?
Yeah.
Up to see the wizard. Why am I singing Wizard of Oz for? It's been that type of day.
Standing there like a scarecrow.
Yeah. Oh, had a bite then, boy.
I told you that left rod earlier. Listen to this. Don't slap on it.
Loads of slack. Do do do. Ooh. Sure. Oh, loads and loads of slack on that, and I mean loads of slack going off here, isn't it? Those clouds are very nice. They're coming, aren't they? All right, that's it, guys. I was hoping to stay out for a bit longer, but I think it's about to hit us. So, time to get the rain gear on, I think. Well, waiting for the old mucker to come on in. We've just done his little outro on his channel, and
we're keeping it PG on this one.
We're keeping it PG on this one. Yeah, we are. Do check it out, because he gets away with a bit more on his than I do on mine. But guys, it's been a slow start, and it's been a slow trip.
it's been hard, hasn't it? It's been
Yeah.
hard.
Baits after baits, fresh baits, ripping them off and sending them out. Different distances, obviously just trying to play the tide a little bit. We did speak to a local. We said there was 5 guys here in the week, and out of 5 guys, 4 of them blanked, and 1 guy seemed to be in the spot, and he had 2 thornbacks, a sole and 2 congers. So it's one of them, isn't it? But it hasn't worked for us today. A few anglers out to our right, I think they wanted to be where we were, so I think we were in the right spot. There was like old baiting towels and that there and that. But unfortunately, just not done the business today. I mean, we got here early to look at the land in front of us, the ground in front of us. I thought we would see a few fish out when I first got here, didn't you?
To be fair, I felt the same. But it's like anywhere, innit? If you come here the first time, you don't catch. You come back again, you might have 10. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's all on the day, innit? It's just where the fish come into, but there's a lot of ground to cover here. It's massive ground to cover, so it's one of them. But hasn't worked for us today, unfortunately. But I'm sure if we come back again, it'll be in for a change. But I'm going to bring these rods in now. But for myself and Mr. Onlyfins, if we don't see you before, we'll see you on the bank. There's one there. Look, if you check that out. But yeah, just obviously just feel free to subscribe if you're new to the channel. There's lots of different things coming. We will be out this week to do a few little videos, so I'd like to do something on the casting again, and I've got a little bit to do on the T900 with a T1000 tip, so we'll have a little play with that as well. But yeah, from us all, see you later on, guys. Check it out, and
In a bit.